Welcome to Clone Questions Live, episode 15, with me, Paul, your clone coach. Welcome, welcome. We are live on Instagram here. If you're rewatching this on YouTube, you got the full-length, uninterrupted, unedited version here on YouTube. So welcome. If you want to join the chat live, you got to follow me on Instagram so you could join that chat live and enter your questions live. But welcome to everybody that is joining us here on the live. We always like to see where everybody's joining in from, so as you join, please, let me put this in the comments here. Let us know where you're from. Let us know where you're from. Enter guest number between 1 and 420 for the giveaway that we do. And don't forget, there is a special going on right now on clonecoach.com. Let me enter this here. Let me pin that. So let us know where you're joining in from. If you're here live in the chat, enter a guess between 1 and 420 to enter to win. Enter your chance to win a free copy of the Best Mother Plants Ever SOP from clonecoach.com. We do a giveaway every single episode on the live. And let us know where you're joining in from. And if you're on the fence about joining the team at clonecoach.com, just know that there is a buy one, get one half off special going on right now for the SOPs. So buy one, get one 50% off on the SOPs. And if you want a little extra discount, a little extra bonus, you could enter an extra code, which is 15K, and you'll get another $50 off. That's a killer deal, real killer deal. But we got, let's see who we got in the house. And if you got something to burn for this episode of Clone Questions Live, we're going to be getting into a little bit more about the nursery, quote-unquote, business. We're going to run some nursery numbers, a little shopping list on the consumables, what consumables you're going to need to have, and some revenue projections based on production and clones per square foot. So we're going to start diving a bit more into the nursery business from my experience. And this is the beginning of packaging all of this to add that to the SOPs so that you really have all the information you need to, make something out of the nursery and really put those SOPs to use and get, a guaranteed return on your investment in purchasing the SOPs. So everybody that has joined the team on clonecoach.com will be getting a free copy of the nursery numbers version of SOPs with consumables, cost of goods, profit loss, production, revenue, clones per square foot, things like that. So you kind of get the business sense of a nursery. Everybody that's a team, as soon as that's ready, everybody that's on the team, I'm going to give them a free copy. And from that point forward, I'm debating whether that's just going to be built into the SOPs or whether that'll be something separate. But keep a lookout for that. But we're going to dive into that a little bit more today. And we got some questions from my story earlier, which we'll dive into today as well. Things like the zero-tall kill insects, why are you topping your clones? Let's see here. The dome tech, the hardening off dome tech, cloning outside, and preventing mold on cloning media within the domes. So in addition to some questions that come in through the chat, I want to make sure I get to those and, see how much we could get through on this episode 15 of Clone Questions Live. So I'm going to spark this up. Make sure we get that in the mic. So if you're watching this on YouTube, class is in session, yo. Practice is in session. Let's see, we got a Bay Area in the house. We got Detroit, Boston, Buffalo, New York, Michigan, mid-Michigan. We got Detroit, High Desert, Toronto, Blythe, California. Yep, just down the hill from the Coachella Valley. Yep, not too far. Another Bay Area. Let's see what we got here. We got a lot of guesses for the giveaway in the chat, which is great. We got the UK in the house with Fire Flavors. HX. We got our first question here from Space Views 89. Question is, how long have you been doing this for? It's a good question. It's in segments. I mean, as far as, being a clone coach and, utilizing that term and phrase and providing digital SOPs online and coaching online for about 6 months. So like the middle of, towards the end of last year. The first 3 quarters of last year, I started like the pilot program of Clone Coach, where I had a handful of clients and remotely, and I was kind of practicing and making sure that the SOPs were working remotely. So that was like the first half to 3 quarters of last year, and towards the end of last year is when I really started putting more effort into making videos. And I think the biggest switch was when I decided to actually put my face online. Once I decided to put my face online, then things really started to take off. Figure that. But prior to this, my other brand was called Neighborhood Nursery, and that's what I had since 2015 as a collective, as a nursery collective, providing clones to dispensaries and patients and other collective gardens. So Neighborhood Nursery was like the brand from the beginning, and when I transitioned into just coaching and helping other nurseries is where Clone Coach came about, and I felt it was really, really fitting. And it's only been about a solid 6-7 months of like creating content and really getting traction with the community and really getting all that feedback and all those results back. So we're just getting going here. I'm excited to see what the future has for all of us. Let's see here. Johnny Moon NYC says, I agree better to take clones and veg, but say for whatever reason you had to take cuts and flower, would you feed it veg newts or flower newts? That's easy, Johnny. If you're going right back to a vegetative state, you're re-vegging or what have you, it's veg again. Feed it veg nutrients, give it the veg light cycle, veg environment, what have you. You're back in the veg, switch everything back to veg. Thanks for the question there, Johnny Moon. We got Maine, Montreal, Southern Cali. We're gonna get into some nursery numbers here. Not too crazy this time around. We're gonna do a little consumable shopping list and kind of some revenue projections, so we could work our way backwards. Daniel Seals says, what city was your nursery in? In the Coachella Valley, down the Palm Springs area. Desert Hot Springs, Palm Springs, all of that area there. You're welcome, Johnny. Dutch Blooms says, what are your thoughts on water cloners versus plugs? My thoughts are water cloners are a little bit more maintenance. As you scale up, if you're doing hundreds of clones, you're going to have a fairly decent size water cloner or multiple machines. And that's a lot of water inside these machines. If you guys aren't aware, there's a lot of water in there. So you're prone to... Sorry, I had a call coming in. So you're prone to, floods, leaks, dealing with that big mass of water. And then maintaining that water temperature, maintaining those nutrient solutions properly. There's a lot more to it. Plugs, you could go into any medium that you want. You could get a tray and a dome set up almost anywhere. There's very little infrastructure or gallons and gallons of water that you have to have attached to these clones here. So for me, plugs and domes are just easy. KZ1232 says, what's the best thing you feed your fresh cuts? Best thing I feed my fresh cuts is the same solution that I am soaking my plugs in with. That's usually the best thing, fresh cuts. But once they go through that rooting process, I'm not really considering them fresh cuts anymore. That's starting the rooting process. And if you want all the details on what happens during those 14 days, go to clonecoach.com and grab yourself the Best Clones Ever guide. You'll have all of the tips tricks, step-by-step instructions, and expert guidance to get you the best clones ever. Let's see here. Okay, I can't get too distracted on all these questions. I'm gonna try to fly through them. I think we're at the end here, so it's good. I'm kind of caught up. See here, Forge Line Kennel says, my clones have a bit of yellow on leaves when done. How to prevent? All root, but can be greener. It depends on where the yellowing is on your clones. If it's on the oldest fan leaves, and usually the ones that were... Oh man, reconnect. There we go. Sorry about that. Got a little disconnected there. Question was, my clones have a bit of yellow on the leaves when done. How to prevent? All root, but can be greener. If the yellowing is on the older fan leaves that you kind of trimmed up, and that's the only place where the yellowing is, I'm not that concerned. It's from a leaf that has gone through a little bit of stress with the cut and has probably pulled some nutrients from to get through the rooting process. If it's on the newest growth, then we have another issue there, and we would want to prevent it with, ensuring it has the proper nutrients when those roots strike to kind of maintain that same growth. So, but if it's on the older leaves and it's only there and it's not going anywhere else and it's just a couple spots, just pluck that leaf and move on with your life. Way Too Heady says, plugs are easier to sell. 100%. 100% they are. Space Views says, have you done a full cultivation run or just nursery? I've definitely flowered. I've worked in commercial facilities, managing flower rooms as well. I've had flower rooms myself. So I've definitely flowered. There's nothing like a room full of flowers. There's nothing like it. But it's not my specialty, So it's I've done a lot more nursery than I have flower, but I definitely know how to take a plant through its full cycle, and I've done it and harvested, commercial crops and stuff. But it's just not where I would want to compete and put myself out there as the go-to person to get you, everything you need with flower. So let's see here. Forge Line Kennel says, thank you, it is the older leaves. There you go. You're welcome. Unknown Farm says, how long are you soaking fresh snips in water? It only usually ends up being, a few hours, if anything. It usually just how long it takes for you to get through cutting all of the mother stock. You cut that first set of moms, those stems sit in water or solution until you're done cutting all those moms. And at some point, usually before you're done cutting the moms, the team starts to plug. So those first cuts will start to get plugged before you even finish cutting the moms. So, it usually is only end up being, a few hours. Gene Strain Farmer says, highest ppm for clones when you plug. I don't usually do ppm. I do EC usually, but I match what the mother plants are being fed. So depends what you are there, but usually it's in the mid 2s, 2.5 EC, 2.0 EC, 1.8 EC, something like that. So, in digging through my office here, I came across some old sheets here of production of some strains and some number of clones, and it's really cool to see the growth on the clones. So let me see if I could see. Where am I at there? You got some strains, got number of clones. Got strains, number of clones. For an example, this Purple Punch, first time it was cut, we had 325 clones off of that batch of moms. Purple Punch. The next time it was cut, let's see, where's the next one? There it is. The next one that got cut, it had 504 clones. 14 days later. Then 14 days again, we got another 484, so about 500 clones. And then 2 weeks after that, we got 668 clones. Look at that growth there. And then the last one, 2 weeks later, we got 615 clones. That's off of 32 square feet, one 4x8 tray. We're getting up to over 600 clones on that tray. What does that equate to? Oof, probably close to about 18 clones per square foot, give or take. So when you have that kind of production, see for 325 clones at $8 each, that's $2,600. Here's some nursery numbers here for you. Some quick revenue projections on one strain, a 4x8 tray, 32 square feet, under two 630 watt CMH ceramic metal halide lights. So first batch got 325 clones at $8 each. That's $2,600 worth of potential revenue. 2 weeks later, we got 504 clones at $8 each. That's $4,032 of potential revenue. So in 1 month, one 4x8 tray has a potential of making you about $7,600. $7,600 in a month. Next month, production goes up. These moms are getting bigger. 2 weeks later, this is every 2 weeks we're doing this. 2 weeks later, 484 clones at $8 each. That's $3,800 worth of potential revenue. 2 weeks later, again, 668 clones at $8 each, $5,300 worth of potential revenue. So this month, next month, that's, let's see here, $9,100, $9,200 worth of potential revenue off of one 4x8 tray of moms. And then the last month, we only got one cut session in there. So that's 600 clones at $8 each. That's $4,900. One 4x8 tray. Two 630 watt lights. Plus the Clone Coach SOPs with the mother plants, maximizing the clones per square foot on these mother plants and increasing your production numbers batch after batch. The batches before the first one recorded here, the plants were smaller, so the clones were less, but you're growing exponentially. So you could end up hovering between 12 and 20 clones per square foot. Call it 15 to 18 clones per square foot. That's every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, guys. So run those numbers. If you guys are really hesitant about, grabbing the SOPs, like just implementing the SOPs on one 4x8 tray and being really conservative with it, you'll 10x your investment. 10x it. I mean, in the economy that we have going on nowadays, times are tough. Who out there wouldn't benefit from one 4x8 tray producing you, 5 to 10 racks per month? 5 racks. I mean, come on. That's, for me, that's what changed my life back in the day and allowed me to quit my job and, continue on this journey and really kind of pursue my dreams here. So now I want to show you guys so you guys could open up some opportunities too. Space Views says, yeah, if you have some good genetics, I guess, yeah. Yeah, of course, you need quality genetics. And with everything I do, even with the clones, the clone production, you don't want a one-off deal. You don't want to just get off on somebody, they bought your clones and they'll never buy again. You don't want that. So yeah, you got to have good genetics and good quality clones, and that'll keep the customers coming back. So that's how you could really build up a solid little business, little side hustle. And that's scalable. That's scalable to a commercial level. I know a lot of states that are popping up, a lot of countries that are coming on board with their own regulations and rules and laws. And, all these markets, everybody's main focus is to cultivate flower. They'll put all of the effort into the thought of cultivating flower, which is fantastic. But There's always a very, very small amount of people that are thinking about the amount of clone stock and nurseries that need to operate to fulfill the needs of all of these flower cultivators. And that, once again, is that overlooked section. The nursery operation is that overlooked area where you could really have the opportunity, because if you really put your best foot forward and, you know, producing high quality clones on a consistent basis, and you're in a brand new market like that, very little competition. It's really up to you to, you know, keep that client base. Man, you could really thrive and operate a solid business, and especially in new and up and coming markets. So that's my 2 cents. You know, if anybody out there is interested on you know, starting a little nursery, you know, head to clonecoach.com. Let's chat. Let's get you some results and make sure you can bring some quality clones to your market. So, first question from the story earlier on my Instagram was, does Xeritol 2.0 kill insects in soil? The short answer is no. What Xeritol 2.0 does, it does irritate soft body insects and larvae. It does irritate it because it's an oxidizing type of chemistry. So there is some irritation there, and generally speaking, it does help with the whole program of attacking the insects. If you also have other things that are attacking insects, then the irritation of an oxidizer in the soil or in the root zone will just help your overall program, and it'll keep things sterile. And killing all the other you know, bad fungi takes away some food sources and stuff as well. So you just kind of clean out the area and make it easier for your other IPM products to be as effective as possible. If you want to learn more about how Xeritol 2.0 is best used in your garden, then check out the other video on my YouTube channel. I'm hosting check out the other video on my YouTube channel of the interview with me and Zach from BioSafe Systems. That's where you'll get a lot of in-depth knowledge on all the products on from BioSafe Systems. So check that out on my YouTube, BioSafe Systems. That's where you'll see the full interview there and dive deep into Xeritol 2.0, Azagard, TerraGrow, Sanidate 5.0, a lot of things like that. So another question from the stories earlier was, why top clones? And we top clones so that we could structure them out and get as many nodes and tops as possible to maximize our clones per square foot on our mother plants. We also top clones so that we get more tops when we send them off to flower. So if you didn't top clones, you would get a very apical dominant plant where it's going to look like a Christmas tree, like a pine tree, where the top is, you know, really big, dominant cola or branch or stem, and all the side branches, you know, kind of have their own size of development there. When we top them, at least once, we already knock that main apical stem down, and we have more side branch growth. If we top those side branches as well, then we once again increase the amount of tops and branches, so you could really build a strong foundation for a really wide and bushy plant, for either mother plants or for flower. Let's see here. But if you're just joining us, let us know where you're joining in from in the chat here. We have people from the UK, from all over the States. We have Canada. Canada's always joining us. Toronto is joining us this time. We got another question from the stories, which says, if using pre-amended coco coir, is adding clone nutrients necessary? It's an interesting question. If you're using pre-amended coco coir, once again, I always like to match what my mother plants are being fed. So if your mother plants are in that same media that is pre-amended coco coir, you're not feeding the mother plants any supplemental nutrients, then you could use that same methodology with your clones. But if your mother plants are being fed supplemental fertilizer of any sort, and you take that away from the clones during the rooting process, I could almost guarantee you're going to experience a nutrient deficiency. And that could show as purple stems, stunted growth, yellow leaves, stunted leaves, anything like that. So, excuse me, if you do take away the nutrients that they were receiving before, I could almost guarantee you're going to suffer a visible nutrient deficiency. If you do change the food, and the thing with the pre-amended, it depends on how bioavailable those amendments are in that media. So there's things that could unlock the availability to certain fertilizers that are pre-amended in cocoa or soil. Some are time. You have to rely on time for them to break down. Some are broken down with other microorganisms, things like that. So it all depends on how available the amendments are in that media. But generally speaking, add the same nutrients. Trust me, your plants will thank you. Let's see here. If you guys got any questions, let me know in the chat here. I got a couple more questions from the stories, from my story earlier. And if you're just joining, let us know where you're joining in from. We got Tulsa, Oklahoma. And if you guys want to ask your question live and request to join the live, I'll give you a special gift. I'll send you a hat or a t-shirt just to kind of help, encourage the participation here. So if you guys want to join the live, request the live here, and I'll thank you with a free hat or t-shirt, your choice. And then it's funner. It adds a little bit more participation in the live, and we kind of see some people from other places, which is pretty cool. It's happened a couple times, and it's always appreciated. Mitten Master, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome, welcome. All right, we got a request. We got a request from Demeter the Dankster. Approving this request. Let's see what's going on. So it usually takes a second for them to join. Usually takes a second or two. There we go. We got something happening.
Hey, what's up, Ron?
Hey, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, man. How are you?
Excellent, man. Excellent. Thanks for chiming in.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thanks for accepting.
Yeah, dude. You have to grow, I see.
Yeah. We got waiting on the DPS panels to get installed, so we're getting there.
Hell yeah.
Got a couple rooms. They're all
LEDs, got some domes going.
That way, Oh yeah.
Where you joining in from?
We're from Oklahoma. We're in Tulsa out here.
Nice, dude.
Yeah.
That's a nice big warehouse. Hell yeah. What's the game plan there?
Man, we're about 6,000 square feet. So we're gonna double tier these big ceilings here, and
Nice.
22-foot ceilings. Double tier triple tier the veg, and about 6 flower rooms is the plan. We had Demeter. Shout out to Demeter. Hook up that irrigation.
Clean.
So, yeah. They're Demeter Designs. They do it right. So it was legit.
Shout out to Demeter.
Hey, my question though is, what's the best way to increase airflow in a domed environment? Right? Like, I know you can't put a fan in there. So what's the best way to get fresh air to that media so we're not creating mold all the time, right?
So you're talking about just within the dome, right? When you said the dome environment, you're not referring to the room that the domes are in?
No, because I run my rooms at about 80, 60, and then I dome them to create that extra humidity in the room and get it where we want to. So, like you were saying, I don't really like getting my whole room
Right.
to try to acclimate clones, because then when I have different stages, those ones that are 14 days, they don't do the same.
It doesn't
as
mix.
the first day, right?
It doesn't work. Yeah. And if you always got rooms going, that's always going to be the case.
All day, right? So if we're doing perpetual systems at all, it really doesn't work to have one room. You got to have domes, in my opinion. You got to.
Yeah. But back to your question, how do you let that dome breathe a bit more and get some better airflow and have that lead to no mold growth on your cubes?
Right.
So, with the protocols that I do, I encourage or I incorporate daily burps.
Okay.
Daily burps. With that burp, it's a burp wipe spray, I call it. So I burp the dome, I wipe it dry, I wipe all the excess humidity off, and I'm spraying my canopy, stems included, which covers the top of the cubes as well, with a Xylitol 2.0 spray. That's killing everything on contact and preventing anything, because in that environment, you don't want to play catch up. You don't want to be reactive. You want to be proactive. So if you're being proactive with letting the stagnant, humid air breathe and exchange with fresh air in the room, boom, that lets the entire dome breathe. You get the excess humidity off, and you're constantly preventing any sort of pathogen buildup with the spray on your media, your stems, and your canopy. Dome back on, move to the next one.
Boom. Okay, so that extra, as long as you're adding some sort of, let's say, I don't want to say sanitizer, but, you know, a Xylitol, something like that. Can't do a Saniday, we don't want to hurt the plants.
Right.
So something in there that can sanitize at the same time and add a little moisture, not just regular RO or something like that.
Exactly. When I do foliar sprays, I want them to be purposeful, right? Either preventing or treating or aiding in something. Xylitol is great because it's a contact killer. So, you know, if it hit the overspray or whatever, it's just killing on contact everything. If the other workaround would be to go the biodefensive side. So use a biofungicide maybe once or twice in a week versus daily, right? You could go daily with Xylitol. If you don't want to do that much spraying, you could do a biofungicide and do that once or twice per week. Depends on the biofungicide you're
Maybe
using.
like a BioSeries or something like that, something from BioSafe Systems too, or
BioSeries is a Bavaria bassiana, so it's like for soft body insects, but like a cease or a regalia or actinovate, things like that.
That's the one I was thinking of. Comes in the green bottle, right?
Yeah.
Yep, that's the one.
So you can either go the biofungicide route to prevent fungus, or you go the chemical fungicide route to just kill on contact. But once it's dry, it's done working. That's why you could spray it daily.
And then maybe, right, like you're saying, switch in that biofungicide every maybe once a week or something like that. Switch it up a little bit.
I would say one or the other.
Okay, you don't recommend both, though.
Correct. I would say one or the other. If I had to pick, I'm going Xylitol just to kill everything, because I'm not sure how good the biofungicide would work against if there was like thick pressure on top of the cubes or like algae buildup or something. I guess it would depend on what you're trying to address, but with Xylitol 2.0 sprays, you really can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. Okay. Yeah. How many clones are you going to be doing, man? How many clones?
Say that again. I'm sorry, I missed you there.
I said, how many clones are you going to be doing?
Man, we just, let's see, I cut 9, so I've got about 250 in here right now, about 9 trays full. And here, I'll hop in here. I can't hear you in the rooms, though, so I don't want to, I don't want to mess up your video, brother, but you know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. Are you a part of the team by any chance?
I'm not yet, but, I mean, we've done a couple SOPs, and obviously I like to do a lot of my own stuff and do a lot of trial and error. I don't want to be an Instagram grower, so to speak. You know what I mean? But no, I'm not on the team yet. It's definitely something we're looking into. It's definitely something, as we grow and as we get to hundreds or even thousands of clones, we might use some different tech and definitely go with Clone Coach there for sure.
Well, I'll shoot your discount code, a nice hefty one for your participation here, man. So if and when you do want to, consider joining. The thing is, with clones, the beauty about it is you'll see results in 14 days. And batches are quick. And batches are easily and readily availably made. Like you go cut a batch of clones pretty easily, and you'll see results right away. So that's the beauty about it too. It's like you don't have to wait 3 months to see, hey, did this thing even work? But I really, what was your name again, man?
I'm Dana. Yeah.
Dana. I appreciate you, Dana, and I'm gonna shoot you a. Just in case I forget, shoot me a DM if you don't mind, Dana. Just in case, shoot me a DM, and I will, send something out to you. Send me your address, and I'll send you a little hat or something, a little shirt.
Awesome, appreciate you, brother. Keep up all the work, man. We appreciate what you do for the community out here. Really, it's a big deal. Thank you.
Hell yeah, thank you, man. I appreciate you, man. Enjoy the rest of your night, Dana.
Yes, sir. See you guys.
Bye-bye. Hell yeah. How cool was that? How cool was that? That was awesome. Thank you to Dana showing us around a little bit, talking clones, talking about how to prevent the mold growth, the fungus growth on top of cubes. Xylitol 2.0 is going to be my go-to to prevent any sort of pathogen pressure on, your plastics as well as your foliage. Thing with Xylitol 2.0 is it's plant safe, but it's also concentrated enough to work and be effective on hard surfaces as well. So I love them. But biggest takeaway with Xylitol 2.0, please, PPE. Handle this stuff properly. Wear your gloves, wear your goggles, wear your long sleeves, because the chemistry on this is a really strong oxidizer. So if it gets on your skin, God forbid it gets in your eye, anything like that. So just wear your safety goggles, wear your long sleeves, wear your gloves. Please be safe with this stuff. It's no joke. This is commercial chemistry. This isn't hobby level, diluted down stuff. All right. This is commercial level chemistry. TRM 1282 says, what's your mix rate on the Xylitol? So for an ongoing preventative dose that you could mix in your fertilizer with your daily feeds, 1 ml per gallon, that's a nice little steady, maintain the lines, maintain the drippers clean, not enough to really kill any active microbials in your root zone. For root drenches, 10 to 15 mils per gallon for periodical root drenches on established older plants. Be careful with the pH. It can begin to lower your pH if there's not enough of a EC base in the solution. So watch for that. But for foliage sprays and like the daily Xylitol, like a fresh cup of coffee, I like to say the daily mix that you make, 30 mils per gallon, ounce per gallon. That kills on contact, safe for plants, safe for foliage, safe for hard surfaces, effective, and that's just the go-to. So those three options, either 1 mil per gallon, 15 mils per gallon, or 30 mils per gallon. Thanks for the question there. And for those who just joined in, buenas, bonfire from Costa Rica. I didn't forget. Correct me if I'm wrong, but pretty sure I'm not. Bonfire CBD from Costa Rica. Once again, for people just joining, we had someone, if you want to join and request to join the live, ask your question that way. We just had Dana join us, a follower from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and be sending him out a little gift bag, a little thank you, and a hefty discount on the SOPs. He's not a team member yet, but he's thinking about it as he grows his business. So I'm going to send him a nice thank you for participating and joining the live here and just chatting a little bit. That was really, really fun. TRM 1282, yep, there you go. Let me see what else we got here. Cloning outside. How do we forget about that one? Cloning outside. So, I got this question from a follower a couple times in a DM, and they followed up with requesting a question in the stories. So, let's dive into it. Cloning outside. If you want to go really rudimentary with cloning, adding humidity, whether that's a plastic jug, whether that's an old milk jug, a plastic bag, a cup, whatever. If you're adding humidity in any sort of way, you're gonna aid in trapping that moisture for some propagation to happen. Your cloning media and the environment, if you have enough moisture in your cloning media, you're probably going to be okay. The environment, if it's outside, as long as it's warmer and more humid, you could adjust the humidity with a little setup, a dome, put your tray and dome outside. You could get the humidity up, usually. But as long as it's a bit warm and sunny, but not like too sunny, because it'll just cook. It needs to kind of be a bit shaded, because these clones don't require a lot of light. So don't put this out in the middle of a field. Put it where it gets some sort of 50% light or something, and can maintain some sort of warmth and humidity. And you could absolutely clone outside, in when I went to community college for a couple semesters, one of the very few classes that I actually went to and attended was plant science, and there was a greenhouse on site on campus where we did propagation. So we would go and take snips of the bushes around campus and take them to the greenhouse and propagate them. We just had really big celled trays. We filled it and compacted loose media into them, moistened the trays, the media, stuck the little stems, the little cuttings off of the bushes. I think we used like powdered hormones. I'm not sure. I don't remember. And the greenhouse itself trapped a lot of humidity, so it was really humid in there. So, and it was a bit shaded, so it didn't have too much direct light. So it's just the right environment to propagate, all of these cuttings. And especially with the whole greenhouse filled up, it really helped maintain that moisture level. So if you want to clone outside, I don't know how rudimentary or how advanced you want to go with it, but you could have a small little greenhouse set up, trap humidity that way, and have some domes inside of there, some indirect light. If you're just thinking about cloning outside, like just sticking it in the dirt or something, you got to have enough moisture in the media, in the root zone, and trap enough humidity up top before there's a root zone established. And once there is, you could start decreasing the humidity up top. If you could do that, then sure, you could clone outside. Let's see here. Raider Nation, what's going on? From the South Bay. He says, hope y'all having a blessed day. Trust the program and adopt the process. Become part of the team today at clonecoach.com. Let's see here. Let's see here. Oh. Mount Baker Gardens. What's going on, everybody? And the questions don't have to be specifically clone, related. We could talk anything nursery, but anything. I mean, I got a pretty long history in the cannabis, space, and just kind of really catching on to some traction here in the community as of late. But I've been in it for a while. We're getting a lot of guesses in here for the giveaway. Let's see here. Once again, if anybody's interested in participating and joining the live, request to join. But we're going to have to get to the point where we do the random number generator, a number between 1 and 420. And let's see here. Trim 1282 says PPFD with LED. Your thoughts? I like to hover about 130 to 150 PPFD for my clones. For my moms, it's about 350 to 400 PPFD. The things with LEDs, it varies a lot on the light fixture, the amount of strips, the amount of diodes, the dimming capabilities, the intensity, the spectrum. Finicky LEDs can be fairly finicky, for any kind of vegetative growth. You really got to find that sweet spot for them. Let's see here. Mount Baker Garden says, those tops on your recent post from Snips, before rooted or off rooted clones? Those were off rooted clones. I'm not sure if that was, that was the first topping from a transplanted clone. About 10 days in from transplant, clone to transplant, 10 days in, that was their first topping. Closer to on that note, hard topping versus fimming. I've noticed a lot in the how the plant ends up shaping out when you do one or the other of these techniques, where you want to reduce the height with like a hard top. You're reducing the height and leaving some like side branches really, really wide and a lot of empty space in the middle. When you do like a Fimming technique, which is like the newest node, almost that meristem node that you could grab, and you're leaving the next two nodes behind. But like the next node is a really, really young, immature node that usually develops into 3 nodes coming up versus just a split 2. And it also allows just, I think, a better node development. So, but you have to be a bit more careful and, precise when you're fimming and taking off just that really thin, really small node without disturbing the next node behind it. And I think you get better development out of your plant versus like a hard top of any sort. Because usually you just get the hard top and then you just get a wide, 2 options left or right. And if those get hard top, then you're kind of, you're leaving dead tops behind. And that's always kind of that balance of how to shape your mother plants. Gene Port says, do you remember the 3rd floor? 3rd floor of what? Trim 1282 says, go-to foliar sprays for clones and mothers. I mean, one go-to is always going to be a kelp product, a seaweed extract. That's always going to be something that I want to foliar spray on all vegetative stock. I love it. I love it. That's always going to be a go-to. Let's see here. We got Cancun in the house. Nice. Jersey City. Real Talk French Bull says, do you prefer perlite in your medium? I used to use it when I used to do the Oasis slabs. I used to put a layer of perlite underneath. But it's kind of messy, to be honest. And that perlite dust is a pain in the ass. So for me, I like to stay away from the perlite. It's just too dusty and too messy. Let's see here. Mount Baker Gardens. That's a lot of guesses, man. That's a lot of guesses. Let's see here. Fim for the win. Dusty. All right, no more guesses, y'all. No more guesses. No more guesses. No more guesses. No, that's it. No more guesses. No more guesses. It's time to go through and find ourselves a winner for this episode 15 of Clone Questions Live with me, Paul, your clone coach. I appreciate all y'all joining every week, watching the reruns, follow-ups, all of it. All right, let's see here. If you're just joining, we're at the tail end of the show. We're going to do the giveaway now. I'm going to pick a random number between 1 and 420. I'm going to find out who got closest without going over, and they'll win a free copy of the Best Mother Plants Ever SOP from clonecoach.com. If you're just joining, let us know where you're joining in from, though. We're going to do our giveaway right now and see. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Those are all the questions I did already. What's going on, Loud THC, Organics? Been a long time follower of yours, man. No more guesses, y'all. Guesses are over. Guesses are over. Guesses are over. I'm starting at where I cut it off for me. There might be a delay here. Sorry. That's the reality of a live, That's the reality of a live. Let's see. All right. So, got my spot where I'm going to figure this out. Let's go get a random number between 1 and 420. See what's going to happen. Closest without going over. We do this every week on Clone Questions Live. And here we go. 152. 152. Let me make a little note here. DM Dana for discount. Sorry, I'm a little distracted. Discount. Let me get a little space here. 152 is our random number. Random number for 152. Let's go see who got closest without going over. 188, nope, over. 111, nope. 222, what's the number? 152. 410, 430, nope, nope. 152. 152, who got closest without going over? 152, 226, nope. 178, 409, 450, 411, 357, 376, 227, 112. 152 is the random number. 152, 121, 275, 131. It's kind of close. 152, 143. Okay, closest so far. 143, closest to 152. Who could beat 143? Who could beat 143? Getting closer to 152 without going over. We got 143 in the lead so far. Let's see here. 112, nope. 312, 66, 220, 477, nope, 371, 178, nope, 716. I think we got our winner. Let's see here. Where's that guess? 19, no. 300, no. Where you at? 33, nope. 35, 45, nope. 256. The random number was 152. The closest that I see is 143 from Space View 89. I'm going to keep going through, make sure I didn't miss anything. 133, 121, nope, 220. Let's see here. 112, 227, 357, 411. The random number was 152. I think we got our winner with the winning guess of 143. 323. I'm going through the numbers again just in case. 227. Nope. Passing all of Mount Baker Gardens guesses. Got a good half dozen in there. Thank you for playing. Hell yeah. Space View 89. Space View 89. You're the winner. Welcome to the team. Yep, you're still there. Space View 89. Space View 89 won this on this episode 15 of Clone Questions Live. They won themselves a free copy of the best mother plants ever. It all starts with your mother plants. All right, guys, it all starts with your mother plants. And this guide, this SOP, will teach you how to FIM, how to train your mother plants, when to do it to maximize the clones per square foot and hit those 15 to 18 clones per square foot every 14 days off full-size production mother plants. That's where you're going to get the best mother plants SOP from clonecoach.com. And Space View 89 won themselves a free copy for playing and joining the live on Instagram here. So congratulations. Hell yeah. Welcome to the team. So I'm going to shoot you a DM. That's the winner right there. I'm going to shoot you a DM with the discount code. Get yourself 100% off Best Mother Plants Ever SOP. And while you're there, you could also use discount code 15K to grab yourself the Best Clones Ever SOP to start seeing results in 14 days. Cyclone Cannabis Co. Maine in the house. What's up, Clone Coach? Nice to join. I'm way late. I'm about to transplant 120 clones. Get it. And as a reminder for everybody that just joined in, if you would like to participate and request to join the live on the video, I would greatly appreciate it, and I think the rest of the team will greatly appreciate it as well. And I'll give you a little goodie bag, some free merch as a thank you, along with a hefty discount code, just in case you haven't joined the team or you're missing one of the SOPs. So, thank you, Space View. I appreciate you. Appreciate your participation. And that's going to do it for this episode of Clone Questions Live with me, Paul, your Clone Coach, tuning off, signing out, whatever you want to say. Goodbye. I'm out.